The top 20 most frequently asked questions by newbies about wholesaling houses, 16 through 20, with a bonus. Stand by, let's get it. Hello guys, this is Ty, aka the Flip Man. Been a minute since I did the other 1 through 15, so here's 16 through 20. So we'll get right into it. Before I do, make sure you check out my podcast on iTunes, through Apple products, and through Stitcher for Android products. So we'll go ahead and get right into 16 through 20. Starting with number 16. Number 16, how much earnest money should I offer? $0 to $10 has worked for me a lot over the last 14 plus years that I've been doing as the date of this video. You can't always get away with that, but in most cases, the level of motivation by sellers, it will work. Now, once you get into a higher end properties, more like $50 to $100 is going to probably be more sufficient, but rarely should it ever go over $100. I had a guy, he wasn't a student or whatever, gave him a little free advice, just a little. I don't do that much often, so don't assume that's what I'm saying people should do, but he said someone wanted, this was a yes or no question, basically. He said someone wanted him to put down $5,000, blah, blah, what would you do? Well, I told him more than likely you don't have a deal if they're asking for $5,000 in earnest money. It's really just that simple. Motivated sellers don't talk like that. Maybe if there was $1 million property, maybe, but the property he was talking about, you probably don't have a deal. I wasn't going to go any farther than that and towards evaluating the deal because he wasn't a student, but just from the little information that he gave me, no, you probably don't have a deal in reality. Now, if you want to put up that $5,000, that's totally up to you, but even if you put it up, I wouldn't put it in the seller's hand, and I would put some contingencies on it as far as inspections period, so I would have an opportunity to get my money back, with no hesitation or no resistance. So, but $0 to $10 normally works. As I said, 50 to 100. Just like with anything else, just like the price won't work for you. If the price is too high, the numbers don't work. Same thing should apply to the terms, which earnest money is a part of the terms. So if they want more than what you're willing to pay or what you're willing to put up, whether it's in a title company's hands or attorney's hands, then that can be a deal breaker. So this stuff only works well and works consistently if it's done your way, either your way or the highway. It's really just that simple, either your way or the highway. So that's number 16. Number 17, what is the difference between flipping and wholesaling houses? Commonly asked question. In reality, in my definition anyway, wholesaling is basically a form of flipping. It's like flipping would be the parent and wholesaling would be under that. So, but to give you the definition, or my definition of quote unquote flipping, is buying a property straight out, whether it's with your money or with hard money or whatever, repairing the property, doing whatever repairs are needed, and then selling the property to whoever. Normally, if we're talking about residential, to a family that actually wants to live in, and they have to get a mortgage or a loan to pay for it. That's traditional flipping, and what most people know. These are what the shows that you see on HGTV and so on. Do-it-yourself TV, I think, is a channel, but those are the shows that people sit and watch, and there are tons of them, and that they never have shows about wholesaling because I guess it wouldn't be as entertaining, which I actually think it would be as entertaining because they could probably go through more properties. But most people are used to seeing the show. They spent $200,000 on a property, put another 100 into it, and then sold it for $425 with a $125 profit, assuming, without the what you're paying a realtor, closing costs, and all of that. So, but that's what people are used to. Now, wholesaling generally is what feeds flipping in a lot of cases, and that's some of the sources that flippers or retailers, if you want to call them, that they use to find their deals is through wholesalers. So wholesaling, if you're not aware, I'm sure if you watch this video, you have a clue what it is. It may not though. So wholesaling is basically finding a great deal, negotiating with a seller, placing it under contract, a normal purchase and sales agreement, and you find a cash buyer for it. The cash buyer is the funding for your deal. How you would get paid is that you have contract A at one price and contract B at a higher price. You get the difference. Example would be you have contract A with a seller for $30,000. You have contract B with a buyer for $42,000. So you would get the difference at closing. The seller would get that $30,000. You would get the difference between $42,000 and $30,000, $42,000 and $30,000, which is $12,000. And the seller and the buyer would take possession of the property. You get yours via an assignment fee. You can do a double close, but I prefer an assignment fee. Now they would say, well, why would you wholesale versus not flipping? Because you could have made, we'll just say $30,000 basically on the same deal because your buyer, that's what he turns around to do. Well, if you just base it on return on investment, wholesaling is going to dwarf flipping. Because just as an example, which some of you all may have seen this on a Flippinar that I've had in the past, or a few Flippinars, but I had a student just giving it, well, he's not a student, he's a YouTube subscriber that I did an interview with, Chris. If you want to check that out, just do a search for $21,000, $500 made on his first deal wholesaling a house in California. If you want to watch that actual interview, powerful motivation and insightful information that you can dive into. But he put up $10 earnest money, and he wholesaled the property for he wholesaled the property and made $21,500. Return on investment over 200,000%, to be exact, 14,900%. On a similar deal, if you did that, we'll just say I think the numbers were on a retail flip. If you put up 50 all in with buy, purchase, closing costs, and then you made 80 grand on it. I mean, you sold it for 80 grand, which was a $30,000 profit. I think that return on investment will be 60%. Check my math, but you get the point. Now, the flipper had more at risk on his actual transaction. He had more at risk. Whereas with the wholesaler, you only had $10. So that's what you have to wait. And the return on investment for the wholesaler was greater. Plus, with the flipper, it may have taken him 90, 120, 180 days to sell it. So where with you as a wholesaler, 2 to 3 weeks. So you have to weigh it. Plus, you don't have anything at risk again. That's the main thing. And you're able to make life-changing money. $21,000, $500. $21,500 is nothing to sneeze at. For a lot of people, that's a year's salary. So both work, but as an entry point, wholesaling, I'd highly recommend for anyone because it allows you to make money at the same time, learn the business, and the mistakes that you make don't cost you money. You may have some egg on your face, but egg on your face is free, as I often like to say. So that was number 17 of the 20. Number 18, do I need good credit or cash to wholesale properties? The simple answer is no. You don't need good credit or cash. It doesn't matter if you have a 450 credit score or an 850 credit score, $1 in the bank or 1 million in the bank. It won't matter in the sense of putting an actual deal together. Now, to be realistic, it does take a little money to do the marketing part of it. We're talking about a few $100s. When I say a few $100, $200, $300, which most people can come up with. But even if you don't have that, there are free ways that you can look for deals. It's a lot more difficult, takes a lot more patience to do it that way, but it's being done all over the country. There are ways to do it that way. So the reason that you don't need cash or the credit to actually make money in real estate, whether it's houses or commercial or residential, is because you're using OPM, other people's money. And or AKA cash buyers in most cases, especially when you're talking about houses. You're basically understanding, as I explained before, on the definition of wholesaling, how to take a power of a contract, controlling the property long enough where you can actually cash in on the deal. That's basically it. You're using other people's money. So that's why your cash or credit won't matter. And again, it only works if you have control of the seller from the beginning. They have to be highly motivated to even get the price that you need to make it work to become an actual great deal, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to wholesale properties and make great money, and cash buyers see you as an actual asset, a benefit, someone that they need to deal with, is because you can help them make money by providing great deals. It really just boils down to that. You can wholesale the Empire State Building if you can get it for $500 million and it's worth $1 billion. You can find a buyer for it tomorrow. Number one, because you're going to have the entire world that would be interested in that property if you want to wholesale it at, we'll just say 700 million. So that's a $200 million payday. I know I'm talking about some ridiculous numbers, but that's the way wholesaling works. It doesn't matter. If you can find a great deal, which that would be a great deal if you could get the Empire State Building for $500 million that's worth $1 billion, not likely to happen, but I'm just giving you an example. It doesn't matter because you would find buyers, and you would find a cash buyer that will take on that deal because of the upside at that type of discount on their actual money, on their return on investment. So that's actually number 18. Do I need good credit or cash? The answer is no to wholesale houses. Number 19, why would an owner sell their house cheap to me? One word: motivation. That is the only reason someone will sell you a house cheap enough where you can wholesale it. Their property is not an asset to them anymore, but it has become a problem, and they will view you as a problem solver because they saw one of your messages that says, we buy houses. They may receive a letter or seen something online that says you buy houses. Say, let me call this person because I have this piece of real estate, this house I need to get rid of. Why would they do it, though? Why would someone be that motivated to sell you a house so cheap? If you haven't heard this before, here we go. The house may simply need too many repairs, maybe a divorce situation, job loss, income loss, tired of being a landlord, they've relocated, they live out of town, someone died and inherited the property, medical bills, college tuition. I could go on and on, but those are some of the main reasons why someone will call you and want to sell a house to you at a very cheap price, which creates motivation, obviously. So that's why when people call it, will this work in my city? Well, any city that we're talking about, any market, the things that I just named, we know they exist in all those markets. So that means the level of motivation will be there to sell a house cheap. They just need to know that you exist. That's your job as a wholesaler. You're really a marketer. You have your own marketing firm in reality, because your job every day is to get up and let people know you exist. If you do an effective job of that, you will make money. You will change your financial situation quickly. It's really that simple. The more effective you are in letting people know you exist, the more deals you will do, and the rest will take over financially, because we're talking about chunks of money that most people are just not accustomed to receiving on a weekly, monthly basis. And it doesn't take long, because $5,000, $10,000 a month, which is not a lot in this business, in reality, changes most people's situation and changes it fast. So when someone asks me, can I do it in my city? All of those issues exist in every city. I don't care where you are. So that creates motivation, which creates opportunity for you to make money and do deals on a consistent basis. As I said, you just need to let them know that you exist. That's number 19. Why would an owner sell a house to you cheap? Number 20, can I wholesale a house that has mortgages, taxes, or liens in place? And the answer is yes. And it's really just simple math. The mortgage, lien, taxes, or whatever, if it's a combination of one of the three or two of the three or whatever, the amount just simply needs to be less than the amount you need to make the deal work. It's really that simple. Everything else will be taken care of closing and when the title work is done, to find out what the actual payoffs are for a mortgage, lien, or taxes. Example, you may have a property that the owner owes $46,000 on it with the mortgage. The price that you need to work is $72,000. So that deal will work. So at closing, the owner wouldn't get $46,000. They would get the difference of 46 and 72, which is $26,000. If my math is correct, at closing instead of the 46. All right. Now, if it's a situation where they owe 46, but the price that you need to work is $30,000, then that deal wouldn't work. They owe $16,000 more than what you need to make the deal work, and most people are not going to come to closing, the seller, with $16,000 just to make you happy. Just not going to happen. And that never happened to me. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's happened to some people, but it never happened to me. Not that much. Now, I had deals where people just take the payoff, and that rarely happens, but I have had deals like that. All right. So same thing with taxes and liens. The taxes or liens just need to be less than the price that you need to make the deal work. So it's that simple. So here's a bonus. I don't know if you consider it a bonus, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. But this is a common question that I get, and I always like, man, am I doing that great of a job to make people think? I don't know what they think about me, but I'll get a question. What do you think about this XYZ's guru? Got one of those calls, messages on one of my YouTube comments the other day, and my question to him was, can you talk to this guy? I put his name out there. I asked him, can you talk to him? That answers your question right there. You can actually pick up the phone and call me, but not even that, because I'm not saying I'm the best, even though I think what I have to offer is better than anyone else. I don't know if I'm the best, but I know the free content that I have out there that anyone can take advantage of, and many have, to do deals. No one else does that. No one else does that. Maybe a few guys put some information out, but no one has the library out there that I have that's free. Just to toot my own horn, beep, beep. But my question to you is, come on now. You don't ask Coke what they think about Pepsi, Ford what they think about Chevy, Samsung what they think about Apple. Not saying that I'm into those companies, but whenever you ask me about another guru, that's what you're basically doing for me, because it's not like I don't sell a product. Even though I give away a lot of information for free, I do actually sell a product. So again, come on now. So I hope you enjoyed these 1 through 20. I finally put the last 5 together with the bonus. Remember the 200 plus videos I have on YouTube. Check out my podcast at flipmanpodcast.com for Android and Apple products. Also, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Remember the Flippinars on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can access those through flippinar.com. If you're interested in coaching and step-by-step courses on wholesaling houses and apartments, also flipping vacant commercial buildings, you can go to flipman.net and you can sign up there if you need an actual coach, which is a paid option versus the free videos I have here on YouTube. Again, I appreciate you watching this video. I hope it helps. Please like it, share it, tell a friend. Please share it, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube and wherever else you may find it. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side.